Today I'm going to be showing you a game called Easy Money for Milton Bradley. This game came out in 1935 and it's for 2 to 6 players. I have the 70s version of this game, and as you can see, you're probably looking at this board and saying, it looks a lot like Monopoly. Well, you would be correct. This game plays a lot like Monopoly. It's actually called a close cousin. It came out about the same time Monopoly did, maybe a couple of years after, and actually Parker Brothers and Milton Bradley got into a lawsuit over this game, and Milton Bradley changed it up and they made a deal, etc., etc. So anyway, this is the end result. This game does, however, play differently than Monopoly. There's some different rules here, and a lot of people actually like this game better than Monopoly because they say it's more balanced and it's more fair. But anyway, let me go ahead and show you how this game works. Okay, my wife and I have already started a game, and I'm going to just kind of show you how the game works here. You have your starting position here. You're going to get $2,500 each time you go around the board and pass or land on this spot. One of the unique things about this game is before you can actually buy properties in a certain spot, you actually have to own a property on each section of the board. So for example, if I'm starting the game and I land here and I buy the property, I'm not going to be able to now land here and then buy this one. Before I can actually do that, I have to own a property on this side, and on this side, and on this side of the board. Now the prices of each of the properties are located here where it says B. So this particular one is $1,000. Now the mortgage price, which is another interesting thing, is actually more than the purchase price. In this case, it's $1,750. If you land on this property, of course you're going to have the option of buying it if it is available. However, if you don't want it, then you're going to basically auction it off, unless it's with 2 players. If it's with 2 players, then that player is going to have the option of buying the property at the full price without an auction. The way you basically build houses is you're going to pay the amount of money that is for the property. So for example, when you build you're going to receive one house automatically, and in this case this is $220 for rent. Anytime you want to build another house, you're going to basically pay this amount again. In this case it's $900, so it'd be $900 for this house, and then if you want to build another one, it'd be another $900, etc. The numbers also here represent how much the rent is going to be if a player lands on it. So in this case, my wife, if she lands on this spot right here, she's going to have to pay $3,960, and I am hoping that she does land on it so we can end this game. But anyway, if it gets to the point where you end up spending $7,920 in this particular space right here, you will go ahead and just put that house there and take back the rest of the houses. If I end up mortgaging my property, like if I need money, I'm going to put all these houses to the side like this, just to show that the property is mortgaged. And then of course I can unmortgage it by just paying the mortgage price and then the 10% on top of it. If you decide to sell one of your properties, then you're going to basically just agree upon a price together. Another interesting rule is anytime you roll doubles, you're going to be picking up one of these give and take cards here. With these give and take cards, you're either going to be receiving money or you're going to be giving money to the bank. And then you're going to move the amount you have on the dice. One of the interesting things here on this game is what's called the utility spaces. These are the blue spaces. Here's one. It says, Milton Motels pay 100 times throw of dice to owner. Now here's the interesting thing. If you land on this and nobody owns it, you can't buy it outright. You have to have an auction between all of the players in order to purchase this property. Whoever wins it is going to pay the amount that they bid and then put a house here. There's one right here where it says pay $250 to owner. Another says pay $1,000 to owner. So you can get some pretty good money if you own one of these spaces. All right, there's also a hospital right here. This is the hospital. There's some spaces that you're going to be landing on where, like here's an example, auto accident, pay $1,500 to the hospital. So in some of these spaces you're going to be paying money to the hospital. If you land on the hospital, then you're going to end up picking up the money, which would be right here. Here's another interesting thing about this game. This is the red traffic light. Now if you end up landing on one of these 2 spaces over here, you're not going to have to worry about paying anything. But if you end up passing this spot without stopping, you're going to have to pay $100 to the bank. There's also these pink spaces over here. These are basically spaces where you're going to be paying money to the bank. Here's one for $1,500 you're going to pay. Here's one for $600. Here's one for $1,000, etc. And finally, this game's going to end as soon as somebody ends up going bankrupt. You don't have to wait for everybody to go bankrupt instead of one player as in Monopoly. All you have to do is just get one person to go bankrupt, and then everybody's going to go ahead and count up their money and their assets, and whoever has the most is going to win the game. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is easy money.